Greetings. Welcome to EDTV News Channel, the People's Channel. In this report, you'll talk about dancehall artist Squash, the leader of the Six, finally reaches plea agreement with feds on gun charges. Now, people, Squash and his lawyers finally woke up and smell the coffee. No, people, Squash is not really the smartest in the classroom. Stay tuned for the report. Blessings to all subscribers and viewers. If you're here for the first time, you can support the channel by like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. So as I said before, people, Squash is not the smartest in the classroom. Squash get lots of chances to redeem himself and change his life from criminal activities. But instead, people, him get deeper and deeper in criminal activities. Now, before we get into the report, listen to this.
Squash was arrested following a traffic stop in Miami, Florida in February this year and is now before federal court on charges of being an alien in possession of a firearm and unlawful possession of a machine gun. Federal prosecutors have now asked the court to include a video obtained from Squash's phone as evidence. They allege the video not only shows Squash in possession of one of the guns seized during the traffic stop, a pink Glock pistol, but also firing the weapon. They're not stopping there. The feds allege also that there are other videos, images, and messages on Squash's phone which demonstrate he has been in possession of other guns. Prosecutors have included images to support their written submission. The feds say there are also messages of Squash telling an associate to bring him a matic, which they deduce is shorthand for an automatic weapon. U.S. prosecutors are also asking the court to allow them to use the lyrics and images from Squash's music video for his song Shubout. In that video, prosecutors say the artist is surrounded by people holding firearms. They say Squash himself is seen holding a firearm and singing lyrics referring to a chip, which they deduce is a device used to modify a handgun to make it fire automatically. It's argued that many of Squash's songs also repeatedly reference an entity called Six. Prosecutors say law enforcement knows Six to be a transnational criminal organization, a gang, with Squash as one of its leaders. But Squash's attorneys have filed a motion seeking to have the entire matter dismissed. His attorneys are seeking to have all evidence and statements suppressed, arguing they were obtained from an illegal search. The defense lawyers say they plan to have Zidane Prescott, the man arrested along with Squash, testify that he did not commit any traffic violations before the arrests. If the defense has its way, it says the prosecution will not be able to refer to their client as Squash in open court. Attorneys representing the entertainer argue that the aliases Squash or Six Boss carry the potential of prejudicing their client. In addition, Squash's attorneys are asking the court to preclude prosecutors from referring to their client as the leader of the Six or G-City gangs. According to the defense, Squash denies any allegation that he is a member or leader of a gang. They say the use of Six in Squash's music is a reference to the dancehall label he operates. The entertainer's lawyers are also asking the court to preclude evidence from discovery taken from an interview in which a prior shooting and homicide were discussed. The documents don't specify the details of the homicide. But Squash's attorneys argue the interview should have no bearing since their client was never charged in the incident. They are asking the court to disregard evidence of Jamaica referring to Squash as a known criminal. They call that evidence hearsay and say it will cause the entertainer to be denied the right to face his accuser. Squash's attorneys had until today to make their filings. They made their submissions on Thursday. It's unclear when the court will make its ruling.
So now you hear that, people. You'll get into the latest report. Dancehall artist Squash will avoid going to trial on federal gun charges in the United States after reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. Squash and his defense attorneys have indicated that he intends to plead guilty on September 3rd. The entertainer, whose given name is Andre Morris Whitaker, was facing charges of being an alien in possession of a firearm and unlawful possession of a machine gun. This after a traffic stop in February led to the seizure of 2 Glock pistols and several magazines loaded with ammunition. Squash was gearing up for a court battle with his attorneys, filing a motion to have evidence in the case suppressed on the grounds of an illegal search. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors had moved to have additional video and text evidence obtained from Squash's phone entered into trial. Prosecutors were also seeking to use evidence from Squash's music on trial. The court was set to rule on that matter on Tuesday, but in a sensational turn of events, the expected ruling on the matter was cancelled on Monday. This as attorneys have indicated that Squash intended to change his plea to guilty. The jury trial that was set to get underway on September 2nd has also been cancelled, with a new September 3rd date set for Squash to enter his guilty plea. Squash had until August 26th to plead guilty or face the possibility of going to trial. If convicted at trial, the St. James native face up to 10 years in prison on each count. He would have faced a mandatory minimum of 15 years on each charge if there were 3 or more prior convictions. At the time of the court filings on Monday, the details of the plea agreement have not been made public. This is Squash's second run-in with the law in the United States after a traffic stop in 2023 led to him being detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE). Court documents reveal that in that traffic stop, 2 guns were also seized in a remarkable similar incident to his February 2025 traffic stop. Squash still faces deportation proceedings linked to the 2023 traffic stop, with the feds indicating that the Jamaican entered the U.S. illegally in 2021. So as we said, people, Squash and his lawyer finally woke up and smelled the coffee, the long sentence. Now, people, as we say, Squash is not the brightest in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? No, people, we always hear the youth some say, yeah, they might get a fight and, all sort of Nancy stories. You know what I'm saying? But at them a fight themselves, people. You know what I'm saying? Now, Squash is an artist and him left whichever way through the border end up in the United States. And instead of him change his life around, you know what I'm saying, making music, making money, and take himself from criminal activity, him get deeper in it, people. You know what I'm saying? So what when we hear the lawyers say, they will challenge the court for throw out the phone evidence, including videos. You know what I'm saying? People bluff them in a bluff. I know it will come down to this, where he's going to take the plea deal. Now, people, when he gets his sentence, we gonna know if him leak like National Water Commission pipe. Tell me in the comment section what you think. One aim, one God, one destiny. Walk good, talk good, live good. Blessings.